Bread is a slightly random ingredient, but it's absolutely part of a gazpacho. If you just blend all these things, it's very thin. And so you put a little bit of bread, which helps to make sure it's nice, it's got some body. This is generally speaking where I end up spraying me and you with, there we got power, we got...
It's sliced bread. It's not a gege.
Okay. Can you just let that blend, and then pour it into here. Gonna add the tomato juice. I guarantee this is one of those things that is just so delicious to eat when it is as hot and humid as it is outside. So I'm going to just then add the rest of the bread. For whatever reason, it's already quite, I might not add all the tomato juice from the recipe, but I'm going to put that. Power. We can forget about that. We're going to let that blend, and then we're going to add to it. This will effectively be a smooth soup, so it's got no texture. There's one flavour. It's delicious, but what makes it really special is to. Then, and this comes back down to that finesse thing. You want to add some texture back to it. So in here we have finely diced tomatoes, red onions, chili, cucumber, which gives it great texture when you finish the soup with it. But it's so important that you give it a good pinch of salt. The salt will pull all the moisture out of the vegetables, and it'll almost create like a dressing with a little bit of olive oil. Salt, olive oil, and the juices from the vegetables, and some basil. Finely sliced basil. As I said earlier, tomatoes and basil is one of those, that could probably go off. Okay, then we're just going to let this sit. But it's so important to taste it. Cooking is all about tasting, 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 tasting. And people, when they start in the kitchen, they think they don't know how to taste. But just taste the whole time. And play around with salt, pepper, seasonings, and you will come to understand what tastes better than. It's delicious. I think there's enough salt, and I can tell.
Can we taste?
It's fully seasoned because the flavour is huge. It's singing in my mouth. If there's no salt, it's just kind of flat. It's not the same. Gazpacho is a cold soup, and if something's supposed to be cold, it needs to be cold. So that's going to go in the fridge. Right, let's. We can actually get rid of that. Let's have a little look at this. So, you've got all sorts of things in here, including vinegar and sugar and salt. And there's something really lovely about the relationship, exactly the same as, I don't know if you're watching the preceding masterclass, the sushi rice, vinegar, sugar, salt. our taste buds on our tongue really respond to those three things. Personally, I have a sweet tooth. I love desserts, I love chocolate, I love sweets, I have a sweet tooth. But when you have sweet and sour and some salt to lift the flavour, it's an amazing thing. Vinegar and sugar, sweet and sour. Lemon juice and honey, sweet and sour. When you've got those two things working together, it creates an amazing flavour. It's something that we all like, which is why in the sushi rice he had those things. So we have got some vinegar in here, we've got some salt, we've got some sugar, but the question is, do we need to add some salt to lift the flavour? And seasoning is so important to make sure that it's going to taste how you want it. It's not bad, but you can take a little bit more. But I can taste in there, the magic of this soup is the relationship between the vinegar, the salt, the sugar, and of course all the flavours that come in to work with it. And the chili. Okay, there we go. That can go in the fridge. I think the steaks can come out, and just put the steaks here to rest. These cloths travel with me all over the world. They are the best wiping cloth there is. I get teased by all the restaurants that I'm involved with because I always take them with me. But if you want to wipe down a surface, it is the answer to everything. Okay, so that's chili. Let's take them out. Yeah, that's good. Let's take them out. That's fine. They can just sit on the side. Okay, so just quickly now, the next thing I'm going to do, I don't know about here, but in London, the cooking world has changed beyond recognition in the last 30 years since I've been cooking, and the things that people want to eat, not completely, not exclusively, but it's also evolved in that time. And one of the things that has become absolutely part of British eating is, I don't want to say the word veganism because it's kind of, veganism gets this kind of, it comes with baggage. But the reality is that my kids who are 24 and 20, they are of a generation who, and my kids are pigs, they love their food. So it's not because they're special kids, they're normal kids who love to eat chicken nuggets, burgers and all that stuff too, but they really care about the planet. They really care about animal welfare. They really care that they eat well. So they're not perfect. They eat all sorts of shit that they're not supposed to eat. But they choose to eat a lot of food that's vegan. So that's got no animal products at all. And it's become it's an increasing trend in London, in the UK. The reason why people are eating vegan varies. Some people it's for digestive purposes, general health. Some people it's animal welfare. Some people, like my daughter, just firmly believes that eating the amount of beef that we all eat it's not sustainable for planet Earth if we all continue to eat the amount of beef we eat. So she eats vegan sometimes. So it's important then on a restaurant. I'm in the business of running restaurants. I need to have bums on seats. That's what I need from a business point of view. I need to look after people, show them the love, as we've been told by the previous two masterclasses. But if I don't offer my customers the kind of food that they now want to eat, well, they're not going to walk through my door. So I make sure that I have a menu that suits the modern London diner and suits me as a chef. I'm far too passionate about what I do to just cook for the diner. I have to cook food that you guys want to eat, but I've got to cook food that floats my boat too. And the next dish, which we're going to quickly demonstrate, is trying to make fire. It's a cashew nut hummus with a light curry dressing, nut milk, and lime. And it's hummus is certainly in the UK now, everybody loves to eat hummus. It's become kind of one of those things. It's stuff that you bring out of the fridge, you dip a raw carrot in, you dip some flatbread in, and hummus has become a really big part of the sort of modern fast food thing. Chickpeas are really dull. They're kind of bland. They've got very little flavour. They're nutritious, they're good for you, but they ain't exciting things to eat. So this is a dish that tries to make something that's really bland, really exciting to eat. So we're going to take a little bit of veg oil. We just got a little pot of finely chopped, that's actually red onion, but it could be white onion, it could be shallots. That's going to go in the pan. Onion, I often get asked as a chef, what is the one ingredient that you couldn't live without? And I think it's probably got to be an onion. Just about everything I cook starts with an onion. And this is no different. If you want an onion to sweat and to release its flavour, you need to put some salt. If you don't put any salt, the onion will seal and it'll trap the flavour inside the onion. But if you're trying to make a sauce or a dressing where you want the sweetness of the onion to come out into the liquid, into the dressing, you put the salt now, the juices will flow out of the onion and that sweetness will go into your dressing. So you've got onion, garlic, that's just garlic and a bit of oil. We're going to let that cook nice and slowly. And while this dressing is happening, again, this is about my sweet tooth. Onions are sweet, garlic is delicious. We need to let these cook we haven't got much time, but we need to let them cook quite slowly so the natural sweetness of the onion kind of comes to the front. Then we're going to put a bit of curry powder on there, just a lovely, mild, fragrant, aromatic curry powder. We put that in. Then because I have a sweet tooth and curry and sweet is delicious, I'm going to add some apple juice and reduce that down. And what we will have at the end then is this lovely kind of curry, fruity, fragrant dressing that goes $1 million with the hummus. And the hummus, I'm going to pass the buck here. Do you want to get one of those blenders going? Beautiful. And we're basically going to make a hummus that is it's with cashew nuts. It has all the same ingredients as normal hummus: chickpeas, tahini, lemon juice, garlic, salt, oil. But the difference is roasted cashew nuts, which brings, surprise, surprise, some nuttiness to it. And the other thing that you often see in hummus is that, in order to make the puree, to make this lovely chickpea, tahini, garlic, lemony gunge, you need to add the water from the chickpeas so that it will puree. If you just try to blend chickpeas, you're not going to get anywhere. And I make this amazing stock. Also, water, vinegar, sugar, the magic 3 ingredients, with other flavourings too. But instead of just adding the chickpea cooking water, which tastes of kind of nothing, we add this base liquor, which is vibrant and delicious, and you can drink it. So let's get 1, 2. I would actually. Okay, we'll go half of this and half of that.
Sorry, do you mind if we ask some questions while you're doing this?
Well, I'm a man. I can't cook and think and answer, but you can try me.
Let's try, just because we're running out of time. I'm sorry. So those of you who have questions, please raise your hand so we can start on those.
Yes, and then half, 2/3 of that.
Sorry, raise your hands.
We're running out of time already. My God. Yeah, go at least. Wait, more. It's not an exact science.
And then oil too.
All of that, or nearly all of that, and half of that. Hummus is not an exact science. It's about making this lovely, rich, puree. So in here I've now got the shallots that are nice and soft and sweet. I've got curry powder. How long do we have?
We have approximately 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Well, we're just going to lock the doors. We're going to have a lock-in. If you want to get fed, 5 minutes is no good.
Well, let's get a question in and then we'll see how that goes.
Hello, chef. I just want to find. Okay, let's get that on the thing. Let's blend it. You have to the curry powder, I don't know whether you can smell it, but that is just delicious. Let's get those into the other blender and on full power and blend those. This other thing in the bag is cashew nuts that have been soaked in water
I
overnight.
hope we'll taste this food.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
We've got a question here.
Hi, good evening, Chef Howard. Good evening, Chef Howard. I want to find out about the beef.
Yes.
The meat. Now, how best should meat be cooked? Now, I understand that some people like to eat their meat raw, rare, medium rare, or well done.
Yeah.
But as a chef of chefs, now, what would you suggest that the best way?
Well, listen, that's apple juice going into the dressing. Again, it comes down to, well, listen, there's two things to say. Some people like their meat rare, some people like their meat well done. That's a matter of preference. But the only kind of intelligent answer I can give is that every animal, whether it's you, me, cow, goat, sheep, is made up of muscles. And all those muscles perform a different role during the animal's life. Some of those muscles work all day, every day. Some of the muscles don't do very much at all. So some muscles are, by definition, tough, and other muscles are, by definition, tender. And so, how you cook a piece of meat really depends on which muscle it is. That sounds complicated, but for a cow, for example, you have the fillet of beef, you have the tenderloin, the sirloin, you have the ribeye, and maybe the rump you can include in there. Those are the prime cuts. Those are the expensive cuts. Those are the tender cuts. So those can all be cooked how you like them, but they can be cooked.
Aside
Rare,
that, so
medium,
even though
rare,
they
medium.
cook food like us.
Cooked and well done, to be honest with you, it's a bit of a waste because it
Yeah,
kind of
so that you
kills
get
it,
the
but
basic
we all have our
nutrients.
preference, but fillet can be rare, or blue even, which is just, it's kind of dead, not much more than that, or raw, which is delicious. I would say a ribeye, sirloin are best for me medium rare, so that they're still pink, they've still got some juicy, they're properly juicy, but there's something happens when meat gets hot that brings it to life and brings out the flavour. And so I personally eat things more things medium rare than rare. I hope that helps.
Okay, awesome. We're going to have one more question, if that's okay. Let's go over to this side. We'll do a lady.
Add some more liquid. Add a bit more liquid. The what's that, water?
Hello, Chef Phil.
Yes. Yes, not small, more. Yes.
Hi.
Hi there.
Well done. Please, I just need the recipe for this chickpea.
Thing.
Whatever.
Yeah. You want the recipe?
So they want the
Okay.
recipe.
That wasn't a question, that was a demand. Well, now we're taking questions.
Hello, Chef.
Hi there.
My name is Chef Tobias.
Oh, chef.
I have a question. In your own way, what are the two requirements that makes a restaurant successful and sustainable?
Two key requirements that make a restaurant, as a chef, I would have to say the food. But actually, I think we've already had the answer by our sushi master today. And really it's about hospitality. If you go to a restaurant, that's the one thing that make it both things, both successful and sustainable, is looking after people, giving people genuinely great, giving them a bit of your love through food and hospitality.
Create an
If people come
enabling
to a
environment
restaurant
for them
have
to come and
amazing
sit
food,
out and enjoy
but
the
food. They don't have a great time, they probably won't come back. If they come to a restaurant and they have a great time, even if the food's not quite right, they'll come back. It's about the experience. And if you've got to give people a good time, and that doesn't mean it doesn't have to be rock and roll kind of cool. It's about looking after your guests. That's got to be the priority. Care, as if they were coming into your home. And looking after them means big smile when they walk through the door, giving them good service, good informed service, and hopefully feeding them some great food at a fair price. And if you do those things, you should have both a successful and sustainable restaurant. Anyone else?
Do you want to take one more?
I'm happy.
Okay, final question coming from. Okay, over here.
Thank you, chef.
Thank you.
Please, I want to know, is there any other recipe that one can use in place of that apple?
Sorry.
Any other juice one can use in
You can
place
use
of that?
anything. The only reason that we're using apple juice, well, apple juice for me is kind of it's a neutral, fruity sweetener. It's better than sugar because it has flavour, but you can use anything. But I would say stay, if you were to use mango nectar, for example, it's so sweet. It's got no acidity and it's almost too exotic. So, but I would say, apple juice, pear juice, grape juice maybe, something that's just fruity and
Not too sweet.
not too exotic.
Yeah.
The second question, why do you salt the cashew nuts? And please, can you help with the recipe of that one in blend because I couldn't get the last one that
You
you
can come, I've
wanted.
got all the recipes there, you can come take a picture, then you have everything.
Okay, thanks.
That's a pleasure.
Please, why do you salt the cashew nuts? I want to know why.
Why?
Why do you salt it and soak it overnight?
Oh, soak it. Because basically what we're making here, I've run out of time, but is something called nut milk or nut cream. And when you soak them, overnight they get soft. And then when you blend them in a powerful blender with water, it goes like this beautiful velvety cream. And if you don't soak them, it's just not quite the same. It should go like a beautiful cream. You put a little pinch of salt, a little pinch of sugar, and it is magic.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. I'm very sorry. Thank you, Chef.
That's a
I want to
pleasure.
say some last words.
I apologise that I ran out of time, but hey, that's what happened. I'm going to get kicked off the stage, but I will try and put a few things onto plates. So if you want to come and taste things, come and taste the difference between a seasoned steak and a bland steak. Yes.
I must test though.
Come and see.
Let me hear that I did not test.
Thank you very much.